The spark of arrogance. The galaxy was old, older than any single star within its spirals. Civilizations had risen and fallen, but one race endured at the pinnacle, the Ivalth Dominion. For 10,000 years they had ruled, their fleets crushing rivals, their banners hung in conquered skies. To them, dominance was eternal. And then they turned their gaze upon a frontier colony of Earth. A place called New Carthage. Families, farmers, engineers who had traded Earth's crowded cities for open skies and untouched soil. To the Ivalth, it was weakness incarnate, humans stretching too far too soon. So they struck. Orbital fire rained down like a second sun. Children vaporized in the schoolyards. Entire districts erased before emergency sirens could sound. The Ivalth commander broadcasted his laughter across every human channel, mocking Earth's infant race for daring to claim stars. And when the dust settled, New Carthage was ash. The celebration of tyrants. The Ivalth fleet convened in triumph, feasting beneath vaulted halls where banners of subjugated worlds draped the ceiling. Earth will howl and then crawl back to its cradle, one admiral sneered, his mandibles clicking in delight. They are too civilized, too enamored with laws and treaties. They will file protests, not unleash war. Laughter roared across the chamber. To them, humanity was still young, a species of words, not weapons, a race of negotiators and dreamers, not executioners. They mocked Earth's alliances, calling them paper shields. They drank to the end of the human experiment. Their arrogance was complete, their confidence unshakable. And so they did not see the silence that followed as anything more than fear. But silence is not always surrender. The silence before the storm. For 3 days Earth said nothing. No ambassadors were sent, no protests filed, no council chambers filled with pleading voices. Instead, Earth went quiet. From the shadows of Luna's shipyards, ancient codes flickered awake. From hidden vaults beneath the Atlantic, dormant war machines stirred. From colonies spread across the void, distress signals became rallying cries. Comms filled with only one phrase, repeated in every language of mankind. Mobilize. Dreadnoughts that had never seen daylight emerged from dry docks. Black-hulled carriers, bristling with weapons forbidden by galactic law, slid into orbit. Fleets that had been dismissed as defensive patrols revealed their true teeth, legions of warships cloaked in secrecy for generations. And when humanity spoke at last, their message was not a plea. It was a warning. This is humanity's answer. To the Ivalth, your supremacy ends today. The awakening of Earth's wrath. The galaxy trembled as humanity's fleets ignited. From Mars came the Titan-class dreadnoughts, each the size of a continent. From Europa's oceans, submarines refitted as void ships surged upward, weapons glowing like molten suns. From asteroid foundries, swarms of interceptors poured forth, countless as locusts. Humanity's allies, once mocked as weak, joined them, not in hesitation but in fury. The Terran Accord, long seen as little more than a diplomatic union, revealed its hidden pact. Every species sheltered by Earth had armed in secret, trained in silence, prepared for this very day. The galaxy watched in disbelief. The humans had not merely prepared for defense, they had prepared for vengeance. The breaking of supremacy. The Ivalth fleet held above the ruins of New Carthage, banners flying, songs of conquest echoing through their comms. They were still celebrating when the first Terran strike arrived. A railgun slug, accelerated to near light, tore through their flagship. No warning, no ceremony, Just obliteration, a hole punched clean through the Admiral's vessel, scattering molten fragments into orbit. Panic spread across Ivalth comms. The enemy had come. And then the sky darkened. Humanity's fleet did not arrive in formation. It arrived as an eclipse. Thousands of warships blotting out the stars, their engines burning like storms of wrath. The void itself seemed to bend beneath their mass. The first wave was merciless. Kinetic strikes split cruisers in two. Plasma torpedoes burned holes through their armadas. Soldiers in drop pods fell like fiery meteors onto Ivalth-held worlds, carving out landing zones with storms of thunder. The galaxy's ancient dominion met an enemy it had never imagined. Humans without restraint. Humans without hesitation. Humans who had abandoned peace for annihilation. The hour of retribution. The battle was no battle. It was a reckoning. Every Ivalth tactic, once feared across the stars, collapsed against Earth's fury. Their shields shattered under railgun fire. Their carriers, designed for intimidation, fell to swarms of human strike craft armed with weapons no treaty had permitted. And the ground war was worse. Human soldiers, clad in armor that turned plasma to steam, advanced like storms across cities the Ivalth thought secure. Their rifles roared, their drones hovered like watchful predators, their artillery struck with the precision of gods. Ivalth commanders screamed for retreat, their comms filled with pleas for mercy, but humanity had no mercy left to give. Every strike was surgical, every bombardment deliberate. No wasted fire, no hesitation, just cold, efficient vengeance. Supremacy shattered, not in days, not in hours, but in a single battle. The silence after the fire. When the guns finally fell silent, the Ivalth fleet was ash. Their banners burned. Their cities, once monuments to eternal rule, lay in ruins. Survivors drifted in shattered vessels, their voices whispers across broken comms. And in those whispers spread a single truth. Earth had ended the age of dominions. In council chambers across the galaxy, rulers sat in silence, their pride drowned in fear. No one mocked Earth now. No one dared. For the humans had taught them all a lesson. Patience is vast, but vengeance is infinite. The eternal warning. On the ruins of New Carthage, survivors planted a single monument, not to honor the dead, but to remind the living. It bore no names, no speeches, just one carved phrase etched into stone and broadcast into the void. Never provoke Earth again. The galaxy listened, and for the first time in 10,000 years, it trembled not before the Ivalth dominion, but before humanity. From that day forward, every species remembered. Supremacy was not eternal. Power was not untouchable. And when humans chose to strike, the stars themselves bent beneath their wrath. The day humanity shattered galactic supremacy was not a victory. It was a warning. And warnings, once given, never need to be repeated.